A $15 million revamp of the country's largest off-site home manufacturer opened in Auckland today, which will now be able to pump out 500 new homes a year. Fletcher Building unveiled the new facility in Wiri this morning, which will help reduce build waste and reduce on-site build times to less than 2 months. Our reporter Jessie Chiang and camera operator Patrice Allen went to take a look.
Building houses, but doing it faster and with less waste. That's what Fletcher Building is promising with its new manufacturing plant, Clevercore. The facility will build the core structural components of a home. Fletcher Residential and Development Chief Executive Steve Evans explains how it all works.
When you think about the walls, you think about an intermediate floor if you've got 2 stories, you think about a roof. What we're effectively doing is creating those components, those panels, so that they can then be assembled on site. So instead of a traditional house build that takes you, say, 7 to 8 weeks from when your ground slab is cast to when your roof goes on, it takes a day.
Steve Evans says the process includes cutting the openings for power points and doors, double glazing and insulation. The panels are then trucked out to the build site, where it is all assembled and exterior claddings are added. Mr Evans says this will reduce on-site build times by 60%, from 22 weeks to as short as 6 weeks. He's quick to point out that these homes are of the same quality as their traditionally built homes. Building waste makes up 40% of all waste in Auckland sent to the landfill. But Fletcher Building Group Chief Executive Ross Taylor says the new off-site home building factory will reduce waste by 80%.
Every time we cut, the wood chips get vacuumed up. You don't see any wood chips here. And then what we do then is we actually use them up on our Golden Bay cement plant as fuel to offset coal. If you look at the insulation, every time we cut it off, we actually reuse it on the next wall panel, so there's zero waste there. So when you go through all those things we're doing across all those bits, we've reduced the waste from one house down to a single garbage bag.
The first 100 homes to be completed by the end of the year will be going to developments in the Auckland suburbs of Ormiston, Swanson and Beachlands. The Housing Minister Megan Woods was at today's facility launch and says the government had always looked at off-site manufacturing as a solution to building more houses.
Something like this has always been part of the picture of KiwiBuild. We've built around 60 KiwiBuild houses already using off-site manufacturing. We're going through a process at the moment around establishing a panel. It certainly will be part of the future of KiwiBuild and was always going to be part of the future of KiwiBuild.
But she was firm this didn't mean the government would be setting a new target on the number of houses built. Steve Evans says a quarter of the designs Fletcher Building has for homes can be built using the off-site manufacturing facility.
It's not a conventional, I'm just designing for a house, it's designing so that it can be manufactured in an environment like this. And that takes time, that takes an engagement through the initial stages of the design process.
Mr Evans says Fletcher is now talking to 8 other architects to come up with designs to make even more houses using off-site manufacturing. Mo te hōtaka o te ahi nei ko Jessie Chiang tēnei.